Hello to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. We are talking about one of the most important Polish movie called The Decalogue by Krzysztof Kieślowski. Here with me is Łukasz, Jasina, and film critic. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Nice to be here.
And since it's a difficult topic, right now I would not say that every single actor who played in the Decalogue before would play it in it again. What do you think?
There is one actor who played in all parts.
But what I'm saying is that not the one who played before wouldn't. I'm not sure if they would play in the Decalogue right now, like if it was remade.
Now I understand. Of course, that's an important issue, and I think some of them probably do, but some of them are dead, and we cannot ask them. I think Anna Polony would play again if there will be a possible, because she didn't change her way of looking at the things after 40 years. But yeah, to be honest, probably will not have someone like Krystyna Janda or Daniel Olbryski or Zbigniew Zamachowski again in that movie. But 40 years made many things in Poland better, but many worse.
Thou shall not kill. How basically Kieślowski touches the topic of murder?
He touches all topics connected with that. Topic of murder and also topic of official law murder, which is death penalty. It's also a movie based very much on the Polish reality from the 80s. And this is a movie where the Krzysztof Piesiewicz, screenplay writer, influence was the biggest. He was a lawyer and he knew very good how this works. Firstly, the end of the 80s in Poland were a dangerous moment. Let's say communist power was strong and they were able to punish oppositionists, but they were not able to punish criminals on the streets, and the economical situation of the country was very, very bad. And there were people who were committing many crimes, more than now. Also, like there was a discussion on the abortion, there was also a very big debate in Poland about death penalty, which was still legal in that country. And exactly in the year when this Decalogue series was made, was suspended for a few years. It was destroyed as a part of the criminal code a few years later. Kieślowski shows us in this movie, which was also screened in the cinemas, not only in the television, as a short movie on a killing, two kinds of murder. The first one is committed by a 20-year-old boy from the village who is coming to Warsaw and he wants to rob a taxi driver from his money. It was a time before Uber and before credit cards. All the money received by the taxi driver was with him. And the taxi driver is fighting for his life. He's killed by this young man who becoming a murderer even without thinking about this. And later, he's sentenced for death by the court. And Kieślowski showed in the movie two horrible scenes. The first one is the killing of the taxi driver. And the second one is killing by the law this young murderer in the prison. The first probably scene of the prison execution given by the world cinema ever. Both of them are very cruel, very realistic, and they shows to the viewer that every kind of life is sacred, and every kind of life should be preserved. People cannot kill other people. This movie made a great discussion in Poland because death penalty wasn't unpopular in our country, especially in the times of danger, in the times of madness. But Kieślowski's movie influenced many parliamentarians and probably stand behind the suspension of the death penalty. Cruel movie, but very well played. Mirosław Baka, now much more older than 30 years ago, those times very good young actor, was probably the best young actor who was able to play such criminal. And of course, all this movie was made from the perspective of the lawyer played by Krzysztof Globisz, the Krakow actor, who was treated much more as an alter ego of Krzysztof Piesiewicz. I remember my mother forbid me from watching this movie when it was first time screened on the Polish TV. And also, this movie is completely different than others, not only because of the topic. It is made almost completely without color, in gray colors, in the set gray colors, completely different than the others. In my opinion, that's the best part of the Decalogue and the greatest masterpiece in it.
Piesiewicz and Kieślowski truly were brave by producing and creating such kind of pieces of art in those moments. When I would say they stir the politics as well, and they kind of started. That's a very interesting moment when we see that when the social and political changes, they start in culture and then they are mirrored in reality, which is not that common, but often happens as well.
Yes, that's the proof how important culture is and how important are masterpieces. It's like Schindler's List started discussion on the Holocaust again in the world. It is that Decalogue played an important role in the discussion on death penalty, not only in Poland, in South America when this TV series was first time screened at the half of the 90s. This discussion also started, but it would be a very it would be a great simplification to show that Kieślowski and Piesiewicz were against death penalty and that's everything. No, they ask a very important questions about the condition of the human life, secrecy of the human life, and like they defend the life on unborn children, they also need to logical way defend every kind of life. That's probably the greatest Christian testimony of secrecy of life without even being a Christian.
Well, this is an important thing to say. Death, the one thing. The other side of this medal is love, of course. So the short movie.
They are very connected.
Yeah, and eros thanatos, yes. So thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, 2 commandments, and the short movie on love.
Let's be honest, that's the most Mediterranean movie in Poland. Why I said Mediterranean? Let's say the Polish treatment of love outside marriage, love which is not supported by the church and by our Catholic faith, is very Mediterranean. Let's say Poles are not so angry on this. We don't treat cheating of our partner as an important issue. Let's say we are not a very good Catholics as a nation now. We don't. We even supported people who had these mistakes. Let's say adultery, all those bad kinds of love, except those which are criminals, are not so great problems for the society like killing. And but love can destroy everyone as strong as crime. In Decalogue 6, known in Poland also as a short film on love, love is destroying. Love is a destroyer. There is a young and very, very, very sensitive man who works on the post office. He's a listonosz, the postman in English, played by Olaf Lubashenko, who was a very popular young actor these days, son of the great actor and also a good actor. And he has a neighbor, exactly not the neighbor, but he's a peeping Tom who's watching her in the other block next to his. Oh, that's very typical in Poland. Let's say we can see everything, even I in my place. And he's watching her like this peeping Tom, and he's becoming deeply involved with her. He loves her. This feeling is very fireful. Is very painful. It's leading him to auto-destruction. She's manipulating him at the end. It shows us that, let's say, love could be also a danger, and that all those who think that love is the only idealistic part of our life, full of violets and good life and the treatment someone like someone great, this love not exists. Love could be also harmful. Let's say when this movie was screened in January of 1990, in June of 1990, make even bigger scandal than part of Decalogue on killing.
And we've put a dot here, though it's a thought-provoking when we say that love is sometimes more dangerous than killing itself.
That's true.
And that's what Kieślowski managed to show in 1 hour movie, one of the episodes of the Decalogue. And that's proof, again, how important culture is in our lives. And thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.